What's happening, team? Coach Mike, Professor T, or the other way around. I think we've confused everyone here because we've switched places and confused myself. Professor Mike, Coach T, back from Gracie Bar, Round A Leeds here in the UK, here to give you some ideas, some options for your jiu-jitsu. Today, talking about the half guard. Last week we talked about half guard from the bottom. Guess what? Roles reverse, we're on top. And so many of the principles we talked about last week, the opposite applies. And when we start to understand jiu-jitsu in that very, very simple way, that whatever we talk about from the bottom, we flip it on top, we want the opposite, right? And that's the game. Coach T wants a grip on me, I don't want him to have it, I want my grip. Okay, there's a play here, there's the yin and the yang of the game, and that's what we're talking about. Half guard's a great place to discuss it. So I'm going to ask Coach T just to kind of pull half guard on me. Okay, remember we'll talk about what half guard is. It's controlling one of my legs, okay? Closed guard would be around both my legs. This one just around the one. And we remember last week we were talking about, from Coach T's position, what he wants to do. Okay, he wants to maintain a position on the side, okay? And he wants to try and win my inside space, okay, to try and control my body. From the top, the two real things we are trying to do here is to control my opponent's ability to move. Okay, both at the hips and more importantly at the shoulder line. All right, let's talk about the hips first. Okay, if I allow my opponent to move his hips out, either through hip escapes or reverse hip escapes back in underneath, or to dominate with butterfly hooks, things like that, it's going to be a very tricky place for me to be this. Okay, so I like to control the hips in a couple of different ways. Primarily, I will use my knees, okay? So in the half guard, I'll maintain good posture on my toes, okay? And I'll use my knees to clamp around Coach T's bottom leg, all right? A little bit of a squeeze there just allows me to dominate that bottom leg and disallow his ability to hip escape out and create distance. So as I come in to try and fight the inside space, you'll often see people hip escaping out to create distance, to reapply hooks, to re-establish a different type of guard. If I can control these hips with both legs or even here on the belt line, as I come into this inside space and he tries to hip escape, there's nowhere for him to go. He's locked into this position. Okay, if I don't have that control, okay, and I'm lazy here, and I go for the inside space, it's easier for him to change angles. He can come underneath, or put his foot on the mat, he can hip escape out. And I'm forever chasing him, and we see this, you know, with people new to jiu-jitsu, this kind of we chase each other across the mat because we don't have the control. So we need control first and foremost. Easy way to do it: clamp your knees around your opponent's bottom leg. Be mindful that we've narrowed our base. So in terms of being swept, we could be vulnerable. All right, so maintain your hands available for base. All right, and then we're looking for inside space, aren't we? Okay, inside space under the armpit, around the hip lines, armpit, neck area. All right, I don't reach in for this inside space. I'm systematic and get into a position where I can win it. All right, I take my time. Say nice little tips sometimes to lock the hips down will be just to be here. All right, elbows in, nice and safe. Okay, start to win the inside space and dominate that position, but we've won the hip line already. Next thing I need to concern myself is dominating this shoulder line. And what I'm looking to do is place both of my opponent's shoulders or shoulder blades on the mat. If I can achieve that, I can apply maximal pressure to my opponent, making it very difficult for them to breathe and to move and to be comfortable. I also limit their movement massively. If I did this and had the hip control, it'd be very, very difficult for my opponent to move away from me. It'd be very difficult for my opponent to close distance as well and win my inside space. So by putting my opponent here, I dominate the position. And it gives me options to move to other areas like the mount, like side control. Okay? So let's say Coach T's back up on his shoulders. How do I put his shoulders on the mat? I have to win inside space. If I think I can do it just by pushing him down, I'm mistaken. It's very easy for him to just re-pummel. Just re-pummel with your arm, good, come on. And he will win that battle every time. It's not enough for me to put him down here. He'll always win. All right? He will be able to create leverage and come up onto his elbow and find base to beat that position. And once he gets the inside space on me, remember, I am now in a perilous position. All right, he's won the inside space first. He has a massive advantage. I need to deny my inside space and win it on him. All right, so for me, principles: control the hip line. Simple to do that. Come over this leg and just control it. All right, if you need the assistance of the belt, that's fine, but my inside space is always hidden. My chin's tucked. I'm fighting a very close battle here. He'll be searching for this inside space. I like to drive into the sternum with my head and look for inside space on the chin. Notice what it does. Instantly puts my opponent flat, okay, without the use of my arms. Okay? We can find ourselves sometimes in a battle here where I pummel, he pummels, we see this again when we're starting jiu-jitsu. And to be honest, you know, it's a risky strategy because whoever wins that battle is going to win the position. Okay, it's 50-50. So I like to stay tight and I like to beat the chest and force that down first and then start to win inside space on either side. Because even if I win the inside space on the chest, I've hidden mine very hard for him to retake that inside space on me. Okay? And as soon as I get the opportunity, my elbow sneaks through first and I dominate that position. And I get to, ideally, a position where I have all the inside space controlled, both in the armpits and in the headline, okay? And even in the hips with my knee. And if I can get here, this position of maximal control, there really is no half guard left. We have options then out either way to win the position. Okay? We got there because we dominated our opponent's shoulder line. Okay, so again, very simple idea. Limit our opponent's ability to move, dominate inside space, understand the problems. Again, one more time. The problem of fighting for inside space out here is by the very fact I need to reach, I open up my inside space. There should be no need to do that. Protect my inside space. All I need to remember is I don't put my elbow towards my centre line because that is going to give my back away. So I just stay straight on my opponent and I drive into that inside space here. Okay, I get to the position where I can put my head on their chest to limit their movement again. And now, even if they try and fight me for inside space here, very, very difficult for them because I put their back on the mat. Okay, and at this point, I can climb. Ultimate control of the hips, the shoulders, and the head. And from there, you have options wherever you want to go. All right, guys? So, half guard, phenomenal position for both top and bottom. But it really is kind of an even position. All right, so you have as much advantage as you have disadvantage, and you really need to understand the concepts of control from the top in order to win that position. Okay, hope you enjoyed it. See you all soon.